Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Ace Jones, the host with the most, here with Cordyceptic Productions. We're live at Red Skull Studios. Shout out to Lady Crenshaw Photography, also free beers. The beard is free, but the secret sold separately. Today we'll be sitting in with Moth, straight out of Birmingham, Alabama. Let's get it.
We are Moth Face, and this is called Chrome Knob. what's called Bathe in Starlight. 1, 2, 3, 4. This song is called Tell Them That I'm Not at Home. This song right here is called Lycanthropy. All right.
Moth straight out of Birmingham, Alabama. Tell us, guys, how long have you guys been together?
It's been since the band started in 2012, so however many years that's been. We started in 2012.
9 years? And then I came in a little bit later. I came in 2016, so that's been the current incarnation. The three of us have been playing together for about 5 years.
Okay, awesome. And what was the chemistry like starting off? Like, did you guys get like matching tattoos? How did you know it was real?
We were talking about this earlier when we first started. Like it was really just me and drummer Scotty, and we were rehearsing, and like we were kind of trying to figure out like we didn't spend a lot of time at it trying to figure out what direction to go in. We briefly toyed with doing kind of like garage psych like Pebbles thing for like maybe like one rehearsal. We did like some 13th floor elevators, and like we love that stuff, but we like all kinds of stuff. But like almost immediately, like we shifted gears and we went into this downtune thing, and then that became like law that we've stuck with that ever since. The downtune the heavy sound.
Nice. Now you said since 2012? In 2016 you came in, John?
Yes, sir. That's
What's
right.
been the key to longevity? I mean, that's a long time to be together as a band. A lot of bands don't stick together that long. What's you guys' secret?
Tim and I have been friends for a long time. We've been in a couple of previous bands. One was Barking Tribe. We were on Ryko Disc, and we had toured the country up into Canada, so we had a really good chemistry already.
And then Tim and I know each other. He played in a band called Throng of Shoggoths, which I'm a member of now. And I used to go to their rehearsals. We played in a band called, what was the last name? Ishkuda. We played. I played bass with him in a band called Ishkuda, and you know, we have I would say we're friends.
Yeah, we put up with each other's bullshit well.
And in terms of like how that works in Mothface, I think we're all pretty laid back. We're not really high strung, and I think that's probably the key to the chemistry there. We're all just like laid back. We're playing our music, and we just kind of do our thing.
Everybody gets along. Nobody in it would want to not be in it. That's what makes it work.
Nice. Who would you say some of you guys' biggest influences were coming up? Like, who inspired you to do music?
Scotty, do you want to start?
Queen, News of the World. I heard that album when I was in second grade, and that put the hook in me immediately. I sold my soul, literally.
I listened. I was brought up on a lot of Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, things of that nature, and I remember my dad made me a tape copy of Machine Head, and I just played that incessantly, even like as like a 5-year-old. And I still like Deep Purple Mark II is still, I think, one of the best bands, if not the best band out there, and that's probably what really got me into music, at least initially.
For me, definitely the Stooges, particularly the album Funhouse. That was some of the first, like for me, like stuff that I could play in my early development as a musician that I could play on guitar that seemed like legit, like rock. So the Stooges and the Ramones, bands like that that when I was a kid, when I was like 13, 14 years old, I was like, yeah, I think I could probably do that. And that stuff has stayed with me. That's still some of my favorite stuff in the world.
Nice. Now I have a quote here from Metal Sucks magazine. Mothface, raw, ripping, harmonic, hooky, down-the-home punk attitude with a bit of classic rock swagger and a fiery guitar solos aplenty. How do you feel that quote applies to you guys?
That's interesting. Like, I remember that when that seeing that I'd forgotten the quote until just now. But the way I took that at the time, like, it surprised me because, when we go around and play live, I think, like, well, we're really loud and we're going to, like, run people out of the room and we're, like, this super loud band and we're, ominous sounding. And then Metal Sucks basically says, this is really accessible music. It's ear candy, and you're really gonna like it. Which is not how I think of our band, but like really, if I step back and look at it, like that's legit. Like there's like a real strong R&B element in that's just inherent in what we're doing, and there's a lot of blues and soul, and also we've talked about it. It's like I love a lot of just old like Brill Building pop, like the Ronettes and stuff like that, and we are a heavy metal band, but I mean all of that stuff is in the DNA of what we're doing. So I'm not surprised that somebody at that publication would go, "This is really accessible and tasty, and you're going to want to hear it." So that's good. I consider it a good thing.
At the time though, when that came out, we did have like kind of a punky attitude.
There were a couple of songs like that got in there that were a little more zippy, a little more happy sounding.
Yeah, things have changed a little bit in terms of what we're going for in terms of the sound, I think. But
we're back. We're back to our sulky selves. We're more
Sullen.
sulky.
Okay, when you say things have changed, how would you describe the music that you all typically create now versus what you used to do?
The new stuff is like, it's melodic, but it's like a lot of the newer songs are like real slow, like really slow.
It's doomier, I would say.
Yeah.
Less punk, more doom.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Okay. Awesome. Now you all are currently working on a new project, right?
Yes.
Yes.
What is your creative process like when you're working on a project?
I would say usually, like, if somebody has like a riff or a song idea, we'll bring it in. We'll kind of workshop it for a while. It's I would say it's a pretty egalitarian process. It's not very, very like things have to be this way, things have to be this way. We're kind of loosey-goosey with it, but like in a good way. And, like I know stuff that I've brought in, it's changed subtly since we've been playing it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Change for the better, hopefully.
Yes, I would say.
Yeah, like I might bring something in, but I mean, it's like it's not like carved in stone to me, like
Right.
how it's gonna come out. I'll bring it in, and then I'll hear their take on the song, and that'll really shape the character of it. So yeah, I like the egalitarian. That's a good term. Yeah, I agree with that.
Awesome. Now, Tim, as the lead guitarist, I know you do a lot of teaching online too. I've seen a few YouTube videos. How did Tuesday and Friday riffs with Tim come about?
That was material conditions led to that. I was teaching at a little shop, and the person that I was working for, my employer, suggested that to help me like build my student base. And so I started doing it, and I mean that was really like I had to like have one of those done every Tuesday, and I did it for years. And I quit working at that place, and I went to work at their competitor up the road, and I continued to do it. And it was like I was talking about this like with somebody back here earlier. It really got to be like a stressful thing trying to turn one of those in like every Tuesday. I'll do one every once in a blue moon now for fun, but yeah. I actually stopped doing the video lessons, but I do give online lessons. And then of course, if you come to the shop where I work, Guitars and More LLC in Gardendale, you can get a one-on-one lesson from Tim Boykin.
Nice. Now, I know you guys have been doing music for a long time. All-time bands. Who are your top three?
I'll go first. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Uriah Heep. Probably, that's hard to narrow it down to three. Possibly either Bad Brains or maybe somebody I'm liking now, like Bach or something classical. Yeah, classical music. I'm always listening to classical music.
Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, And then for a third one, that's tough. I guess The Obsessed, probably. Yeah, The Obsessed.
Oh, I'm going to say the Stooges, the MC5. Stooges, MC5, and T-Rex.
Nice.
Interesting pull.
Those are all some great choices. Now, with the way that the music is going nowadays and the sound that you all are creating, who would you like to most collaborate with?
Like musically
Yes.
to jam with?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to collaborate with a local band called Machi.
Oh, yeah. No, those are cool cats.
It's-
Machi is very good.
Yeah, it's totally different genre, but it might work.
Machi, if you guys are listening right now, Moth Face is looking to collaborate with you guys. Make sure you make that happen, okay? All right. Now, here's a question for you guys. I think a lot of people always ask artists this. Do you listen to yourself in the car?
I have. I certainly have. Yeah, especially because we've self-produced ourselves, so you kind of have to.
Yeah, you have to. That's the true test.
Yeah, like I go back occasionally. I have like a field recorder. I'll like record our rehearsals every once in a while. I'll play those back just to see how we're sounding, seeing where I messed up, seeing where I need to actually like woodshed on the songs and stuff like that. But yeah, we do.
Where have you guys performed at before? Like what are your favorite and least favorite places that you performed at before?
We play the
The
Nick a
Nick
lot.
has been good.
They have a great
yes,
PA.
I've played the Nick more times than I can count on my fingers and toes, and I think I'm sure you guys could say the same. 2, 3, 4, 5-fold.
I've been playing at the Nick since 1985.
We played the Star Bar in Atlanta. That was really
Yeah,
cool.
the Star Bar was
It
cool.
was very nice.
I don't think they're around anymore. Is that correct? Oh, they are still here.
Good.
That's okay. That's good to know.
Shout out to the Star Bar.
I think the favorite place that I've played, probably Saturn. I didn't play with you guys, but I played there with another band, and that's probably my favorite place to see shows and play shows in Birmingham.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
Awesome.
Syndicate was good. They're gone.
The Syndicate was great. I just hated hauling gear up the backstairs.
Hauling gear up the stairs. That was a cool place for a Moth Face to play, though.
Oh yeah.
Now, I love getting intimate with the bands. Not in that kind of way, right? But making sure that your fans know something that might not be so at the top of the surface. So what's a secret talent that you guys might possess individually that nobody might not know about, like a second talent?
I can pop light bulbs when I sneeze. It just happens. Hopefully it won't happen here. I took my Sudafed.
I have a high level of knowledge regarding severe weather incidents. I'm actually working on putting together a podcast on it.
You're a
on
walking, talking barometer.
Well, not quite that much, but yeah.
I can play the ukulele.
There you go.
There you go. Might have a new instrument coming on the next album, right? Now, how do you guys feel the internet has impacted the music business?
That's a loaded question. It's good in that you have a very it allows your I'm trying to word this properly. It's much easier to put your stuff out there, get yourself exposed, put yourself out there to a wider audience. It also eases things up on a distribution front. You're able to put digital music out there where you're not necessarily having to rely on physical media. I think it's a double-edged sword, though, because nowadays, and knowing people in the music industry, the music business who are in, I would say, like mid-level touring bands, you're not necessarily making your money off of the music. You've just essentially turned into a traveling T-shirt salesman. Not necessarily selling the music as much, but I think that's really the catch-22 there, at least from my experience and the experience of my peers.
The decline of the record industry also means a decline in the financial backing of these bands too. So that's the downside of it, probably.
The upside of it, to me, I agree with that but the economy has completely changed for musicians in that way. The upside of it for me is like when I started out getting involved in the music business, and Scotty was there with me for a good bit of that. The old paradigm, as far as the relations between the record labels and the artists, was that the label played the role of parent and the artist played the role of child. And I really did not like that. I never liked that, and I don't miss that aspect of it. I deal with like micro labels. There's a million little micro labels, and nobody does that anymore. It's really rare to even have an inked deal in our, in the tier that we're on in the music business. It's very unusual to have an exclusive recording contract. And so I like that. It's a lot freer, and it's more of a situation where the bands create what they create, and they take it directly to the market. So I like that aspect.
Yeah, they have more control of the content for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, we're in times where things aren't so normal as they used to be. How's the pandemic impacted you guys' music trajectory, and when do you think you'll be able to play live again?
Soon.
Hopefully soon. Now that COVID cases are trending down, people are getting vaccinated. Hopefully soon. I would say maybe optimistically later this summer, probably more realistically fall, winter. Probably.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah.
Now, once that takes place, what's your guys' favorite song to perform, if you have one?
Huh.
It'd probably be different for each of us.
Yeah. Scotty, what's yours?
I like Bathe and Starlight, which I think is on the set tonight, and
Yes.
another one of the new ones we're working on, which I'm not going to say what it is. It's a surprise.
Ooh.
Okay. I like surprises. I hope you guys like surprises too. So what would you say?
I would say, in terms of the older stuff, probably Pneumatic Orgone House is probably my favorite. I think we're playing that. Of the newer stuff, Bathe and Starlight's really good. There's another new song which we don't have fully down yet, but I really like where it's going. I think there's, if you check out our Facebook, there's, I think, the night we learned the song, we were just like played it like back to back to back like 5-6 times. I think that last time was about the last time we played it. It was probably about the 6th or 7th time that night. That's probably one of my favorites of the new ones.
Nice. What about you, Tim?
Yeah, Bathe in Starlight was the first one I thought. That's just a really fun song to play. It's super heavy. And of the older songs, like from the album, Pneumatic Orgone House, which we're going to do. We're going to play both of those songs in the set here. So, yeah.
Awesome. Now, I do know a little bit of the backstory about Canada, but I want to ask a question. What's the most trouble you guys have ever gotten into?
Wow, what do you know about Canada? Do you know about us in Canada?
We're all ears. The world will
boy.
know.
Yeah, we got.
I was going to say, you guys, I'm sure, have much more interesting stories than I do. I've been a good boy. I don't have any interesting, crazy stories.
Yeah, Tim and I were in a band, and we got busted in Canada coming across the border for a roach in our manager's wallet, and they arrested us all and started going through our equipment, and we thought they were going to destroy everything. It was a really nerve-wracking time, and it turns out all they wanted was money. So the record label cut a check, sent them a check, and we were out of there within maybe 4 or 5 hours.
It was in 1990, And when we were going into Canada, the Canadian customs were sort of amused by us. They were like, "So what are you doing in Canada?" And we were like, they were like, we said, "Well, we're going, this is what you say." You say, "Well, we're going to a party with friends." Because, you don't say we're going into Canada to work. You say we're going to a party with friends. And they're like, "Yeah." And they looked around and they were like, "So have you got any drugs in that there van?" And we were like, "No, sir." And they were like, "Enjoy your stay in Canada." So we went up there and played the gig. There's a lot to tell about our brief stay in Canada, that more than we'll want to get into here. But yeah, when we were coming back, this was in 1990. This was Daddy Bush years. And the American Customs guys had automatic weapons. And yeah. And anyway, like Scotty said, yeah, it was just basically they're holding people at the border. If you can come up with $500, you're free to go.
Wow, interesting. What would you say is some of the best advice you all have ever been given?
Get out of Birmingham. I was told you're better off in a place where your chances are 1,000,000 to 1, because in a place like Birmingham, your chances are 0.
That's outstanding advice. That's actually the best advice I've been given tangentially.
You're welcome, John.
Thanks, Scotty. I appreciate it.
My advice to young musicians would be, if people are talking a big game, if they're like going, "Hey, awesome stuff," like, yeah, like that's to be looked askance at. If people downplay stuff and go, "Yeah, it might be okay," that's good. In my direct experience, that tends to pan out. If somebody's like, we might get with this distributor, I don't know. If they play it down, if they're like, "This is going to be the most awesome thing ever," like be wary of that.
That's awesome advice. And speaking of experience, Tim, I know you're also in the Alabama Blues Hall of Fame. Is that correct?
That's true.
All right. What are some of your most memorable? Who are some of the most memorable people you can remember sharing a stage with?
Two come to mind right away. One was John Brim, who was like a totally legit blues guy, mid-century blues artist who recorded for the Chess label. He wrote the song "Ice Cream Man" that Van Halen covered on their first album. But he did like really raw urban electric blues, kind of in the style of John Lee Hooker. Anyway, I was in a band called Topper Price and the Upsetters, and we played what I call hard blues, and we opened for him, but we were also hired that night. It was on a Halloween, and so we got to back up John Brim. He was great. The other one that was really memorable was that same band, the Upsetters. We opened for Bo Diddley at the Stardome in Hoover. And we shared a dressing room with him, and he was fantastic. He was like a total rock and roll weirdo, and that was just really great playing with them. And yeah,
Nice.
Awesome. Somebody really close to you guys shared a quote with me about you as well, and said, "Do nugs, not drugs."
Nugs, not drugs.
Nugs, not drugs. Elaborate. Let the fans know a little bit more about that in detail, please, John.
So, I guess this started off, we were going to play a show in Atlanta. I think we had rented out a U-Haul van, and we were pulling up to Burger King, getting some food before we play. And Scotty and I got some just, 10-piece chicken nuggets. It's $1.49 or however much they are now. And I guess that's where kind of things started, and it's just been this bit ever since where we're just, because, we don't really do, we're not like a drug band or anything. Like, I have a couple of beers every once in a while, and it's we just eat chicken nuggets instead. So nugs, not drugs, I guess. I'd say that's pretty accurate.
Words to live by.
It's a positive message that we're bringing to our nation's youth. Nugs, not drugs.
You hear that, labels? If you want to sign these guys, make sure you get them a Nugget sponsorship.
Good. Okay. Uno más. Yeah. Uno más. That was called dysphoria. This one's called satellite. You want to count it in? You count it? Okay. About like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I hug my baby, light is shining. Safe.
Yeah, man. We did
Safe.
great tonight.
Oh, safe.